So transition matrices can be used to model how a system changes over time. In this problem, Jess has noticed that some people at work keep leaving the fridge door open, partly open, and she thinks that this problem is going to get worse. So she starts to analyze this, and she summarizes her findings in this table over here. And you can see that there are only 4 possibilities over here. And so she finds that if the fridge is open when they arrive, it can either be open when they leave, or it can either be closed. And there is a probability of 0.3 if the fridge is open when they arrive, that the fridge will be open when they leave. And also there is a probability of 0.7% if the fridge is open when they arrive, that the fridge will be closed when they leave. And similarly, if the fridge is closed when they arrived, then there will be 0.05 that it will be open, and when it is closed when they arrived, there will be 0.095 closed after they leave. And this information can be used to write the transition matrix. And each row is going to represent one of the 2 states. It's either open or either closed. And the columns are also going to represent the 2 states, open or closed. And for our purposes, the rows are going to represent the current state, and the columns are going to represent the next state. And so if we start with open and we finish off when the leaf is open, we'll see that the probability will be 0.3. If the current state is open and the next state is closed, then the probability will be 0.7. And the same thing with if the current state is closed, then the probability of it being open will be 0.05. And also if the current state is closed, the possibility of it being closed is 0.95. And this is what we call the transition matrix. And you'll notice that the rows will end up equaling the probability to 1. And so A is a transition matrix which predicts how the system will change each time someone visits the fridge. Now we need to describe another matrix, a matrix which will describe the current or the initial state of the system. And we'll call this matrix S for the state, initial state of the system. And in this case, our S matrix is described when she estimates that the door is currently left open for 10% of the time. And so our S matrix can be written as that 10% of the time, 0.1, it is open, and therefore 90% of the time it is closed. That is our initial description of the state of this matrix. And in this case, we can put a little 0 over here to show that this is the initial state. And we can evaluate what the next state of the system will be when someone comes in and opens the fridge. And we'll say that it is S1. And this can be calculated by multiplying the initial state with the transition matrix. And if we use the calculator, then we will find out that when multiplying these 2 matrices together, we will get the outcome of our new matrix S1, which will say that the likelihood of the fridge being open when the next person enters will be 7.5%, which is already less than the predicted 10% initially claimed by Jess. And so when the second visitor comes, we can evaluate it by multiplying the new state after the first visitor with the matrix, transition matrix. Now, since S1 is really S0A, we can substitute it in here, which then can further be rewritten as. And so these two matrices over here now will describe the state after the second person has come into the room and opened the fridge. And you can find this out by using your technology or the calculator to multiply those two matrices. And so now the likelihood of the fridge being open after the second visitor walks in is going to be 6.8%. And so to predict the probability of the fridge being left open after the 10th person comes in, we would use, therefore, the steady state of the initial state multiplied by the transition matrix to the power of 10. And so the likelihood of the fridge being open after the 10th person visits it is going to be 6.67%. And so Jesse's concern that the problem is getting worse is not justified because the likelihood of the fridge being open after the 10th visitor is diminishing rather than increasing. So I hope that this was helpful to you, and if you did find this helpful, then please subscribe to my channel and you'll get some more videos on general maths as well.